Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. We're rocking out to this D.O.C. Man, this guy legendary. Flow was ahead of his time. Want to give a shout out to my man Terry Tees for the song request. Yes, this is an old school, but it's still so relevant and hot, man. Again, so shout out to my man Terry Tees. And it is August 5th, guys, 2018. Hope you guys are doing well today. We're going to be talking about two things. One is an issue or a topic I really want to cover and highlight because I think it's important for us to see this. The first one, though, is new Sharding client wallet that Status is working on, and they kind of showcased it a few days ago. I want to kind of go over that. Sharding is a method for the Ethereum network to basically be able to increase their output much higher than where they are at 13 transactions per second. So we'll take a look at that. And the second thing is out of Sentra. We got to talk about this. They put an excellent article up on Medium and we're going to take a look at what they wrote in regards to what happened, man. What happened? They've been silent for like 3 or 4 months since the founders were arrested. The SEC came swooping down, all this stuff, man. This article is going to really show you guys some things, and I really think it's important that I highlight this, and you guys kind of make your mind up from there. But first, get over to cryptoblood.io. If you need that formula, you need to sign up for that trading room, that algo. Yeah, we've been out the way of this bear market. Bitcoin for sure since 8,100, and we've been out of Litecoin since 86 bucks, I believe. Let me just check really quickly. Yeah, 85.70. So check it out if you guys are interested. Still available, $2.99. for 3 months. You get discounts if you do 6 or 12 months. So check it out, people. Cryptoblood.io. Let's take a look at this coincheckup.com really quickly. Market cap is currently at $255 billion. Bitcoin's dominance 47.5. And we've still got a sea of red, man, for the last 7 days for sure. Looks like we're taking a breather right now. But it's not looking good. It's still not looking good. I still think we're near lows, but we could go lower. But I feel like we're kind of losing steam with this bear market. So let's see what happens. Take a look at this chart really quickly. As I've stated, 6,600 is still an area of support to me. So that's kind of the closest thing I have. We did dip down to like 68 something, high 6,800s yesterday, and we've been playing with that area. But 66, I think it should be a solid area for us to bounce off of, but we'll have to see what happens here. But the first one out of AMB Crypto, a couple days ago, Ethereum 2.0 Sharding client unveiled. Vitalik Buterin optimistic. So let's take a look at what this article has to say about this new Sharding client built by Status, as I said at the beginning of the video. They've got some type of platform they call Nimbus. So let's take a look at what they're talking about here. So it says on August 1st, Status, an open source mobile dApp browser, unveiled on Twitter their client Nimbus, a project focused on sharding and scalability of Ethereum. Status has declared that their ultimate goal in the long run is to drive mass adoption of Ethereum. Sharding is a kind of database segregation which divides enormous databases into smaller, quicker, and conveniently manageable parts known as data shards. Status, the first mobile Ethereum operating system, is a decentralized platform based purely on a peer-to-peer framework. Users are able to buy, sell, and store Ether, as well as other cryptocurrency assets, with the added advantage of exploring and browsing through several decentralized apps. I remember when Status came out, they were, the ICO debuted. Back then, they were one of the few who actually had a MVP in the stores, in the Apple and Android stores. I was excited about that. That was one of the reasons why I went ahead and participated in the ICO. It was a disaster, though. It was so many people trying to get into that Status ICO that it actually crashed Ethereum. Couldn't move anything. Man, those are crazy days, and I just knew after about 3 or 4 hours attempting to get into this darn ICO, I finally got in. I thought I was gonna make a lot of money from this ICO, but it really disappointed out of the gate. And you know, I was really disappointed myself because I thought it was so much pent up demand that once it hit the markets, people would just be buying it up, bidding it all the way up. So that didn't happen. I held on to it for a while, ended up maybe doing a 2x, which is still in regular terms, that's still excellent. You know what I mean? So I'm not complaining. So here's their tweet here, introducing Nimbus. In order to advance the collective work on scaling Ethereum, we have been building our own client called Nimbus, written in the language called Nim. Learn more on our research blog. So that's kind of that. I'll leave a link to this article so you guys can check it out. But what I want to highlight here is further down in the article. Status says on their website here, the Ethereum 2.0 Sharding client is designed to work well on mobile and embedded systems. That is modular enough to allow for rapid iterations and implementation of the research being done in terms of scaling. We feel advance greatly the goals of Ethereum as a decentralized ecosystem. The Nimbus team decided to use the programming language Nim as it is light in its markup and therefore appropriate to run on resource-restricted devices. The team claims to have a deep-seated understanding of the blockchain platform and its ever-evolving technology. The Ethereum protocol is said to have engaged the most experienced of developers and engineers. Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum, in his tweet said, looking forward to Nimbus for ETH status. I mean, what do you guys think? I just think they're adding more ropes to an already complicated system, and you know, with unintended consequences. I think they're just using so much energy to try to make this scaling work. I personally am not a believer in Ethereum being able to scale, man. I'm just be honest with you. I don't think, and they got some smart people over there, but I just feel like they're making it so complicated. It's just not. It takes so much to test and run and debug, and then you're just worried about any loopholes, because there will be some holes in the continuity of everything as you get more complex, man. I don't think it's gonna work, or if it does work, it's gonna take so long that other projects will have surpassed them and companies would have moved on and, you know, started developing on other platforms, because we all know time is money when it comes to this industry and when it comes to business, period, right? So you guys let me know, do you think Nimbus is going to be something that can really catapult the sharding aspect or concept of Ethereum? Do you think it's going to really help it? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. The second article is really the one I wanted to highlight, and it's coming from Sentra itself. They haven't really spoke about anything of much since the tweet about Phantom, and you know, the real ambiguous tweet they made last week. But this is something more formal coming out of Medium, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing because it's an 8-minute read roughly, but this here is something we need to really look at, and I really want to highlight some of the key things that Sentra has stated in this article. I think it's very important, and I want to highlight this. So it says here, the title of this Medium post is "Let the Truth Be Known." It says here, there has been silence for over 3 months since that has been forced upon us. It's unfortunate that the SEC has acted the way it has, because it has affected thousands of Sentra users worldwide. When the events in April occurred, our employees inevitably left and refused to make any statements for their own interests. Now that we have the opportunity, we want to shed some light on the events that happened, to an extent, because this is an ongoing legal battle at this point, and some information is sensitive to the case. We want to voice the truth and move on from this in our next phase. So Sentra says here, we allege, think, and or believe that the comments from the SEC Chief of Enforcement, Robert Cohen, regarding our technology are downright wrong. Check this out, people. Yes, SEC, we actually did create cutting edge technology. Here's the thing. Here's the area I want to highlight, guys. We had been working with the SEC since November of 2017 and was told that it was non-public order, and we actually tried to refund the ICO multiple times through the SEC. Since it's public now, we are going to use our freedom of press and speech here. When we first received the subpoena, we weren't required to do much but submit documentation and ensure them Sentra wouldn't touch the ICO funds we had in our current control at the time, which we complied. The bottom line, aside from everything else, it is that we didn't use the funds when the SEC contacted us. We were cooperating with them on production of documents and for a resolution of the matter that wouldn't cause collateral damage to the rest of the world. We began producing documentation to show them the relationships we had with our processors at the time. One processor who was supposed to issue our branded Visa cards domestically, and one processor that was going to issue our white label MasterCard worldwide. The black cards that our ICO contributors have gotten since 2017 of December. That actually worked, unlike the false statements made. That's very true. I had one. The processor we had to issue our branded US-based Visa cards had told us since on or around August of 2017 we were all good to go. Sent us contracts and term sheets, etc. We had other solutions we were working on with our processors in Europe, but our focus was the branded approach with the US issuer. The processor who was going to issue the MasterCard internationally sent us documentation to finalize on or around September, which we ended up executing and delivering on. The fact that he says we lied about our technology in their press releases are flat out wrong. Sentra's card management, this is another highlighted area I want to show you guys. Sentra's card management system can work with any card in this planet that has online access. We created a proprietary conversion engine that uses a multi-level connection method that can let the average person even make his own debit card a real-time crypto card powered by our system. I remember, Coinsbank, I had a debit card like a year and a half or two ago. It may have been 2 years from Coinsbank, and Coinsbank had something similar where you could actually create virtual cards within the platform. You log in and you can spin up new virtual credit card numbers to shop online and stuff. It was really cool. Therefore, you didn't have to give your main physical card out, that number out. You can keep that when you do point of sale transactions, but you could use virtual cards online to shop. I thought that was really cool, and that was a feature that I did see within the Sentra app, that though it wasn't enabled just yet. It says here it all worked. We had an issuing agreement to issue our cards, and we delivered hundreds of Sentra cards worldwide in December to users whom connected it to their wallet and began to use it wherever MasterCard was accepted. That's the truth, and no matter what anyone tries to say to make it seem like it wasn't, the truth always prevails. Just know something, in the US federal regulatory system, people get promoted for their work and enforcement. And it kind of goes through, a few examples of people doing this to kind of get themselves promoted. And it says here, we allege and hypothesize their agenda here is for their own self-benefit rather than the real protection of the people. We had offered them in multiple occasions to refund ICO contributors through our corporate outside counsel. They refused every time. I think that meaning they, the SEC. We gave them options for a full recession in ETH. That means the users would have gotten their full ETH back. Doing that would have protected secondary markets and secondary buyers, which was Sentra's goal at all times, because we knew through blockchain data some ICO contributors had already sold their tokens. We wanted to protect the people from any other form of action and that would cause a ripple effect like the one they have done now, which destroyed people's funds. We had already developed our technology, paid for a large quantity of cards to issue. We hired a full experienced executive team to run the company. We did everything to make sure we delivered exactly what was promised. And I'm not going to read the full thing, but I'm just kind of hitting main points here. This paragraph here says we were doing everything we promised in our sale. It says, what kind of scam is that where a company actually is doing what they are saying in all aspects of an ICO and leaves 91,000 ETH untouched? You be the judge. We believe the FBI and DOJ felt a need to rush in instead of really continuing their investigation and letting us handle the situation with the SEC. They arrested the founders, and we believe the SEC was then forced to file actions. We will continue to use our allege, and we believe, because we think that's how the SEC words its documents to avoid slander, defamation, and to follow judicial procedure. So we are alleging this whole document to use our First Amendment rights. So it kind of goes through all of that. Right now, the federal government, it says, has 91,000 Ethereum in their possession. When they received it, it was worth around 70 million. It goes on to say the people deserve to know what happened. The silence and one-sided narrative needs to end. We are going to fight this battle to the very end and prove ourselves. To continue forward, we unfortunately have no ability to use our card management system, as it is a reputational risk for any processor to continue to work with us because of the domino effect the SEC DOJ has caused. We are moving forward over the technology of Sentra Chain to an open source decentralized community project called Phantom. Phantom will be available for more information on phantom.org on its release or from its social media pages. Phantom will be a decentralized network run on a DPoS protocol and will be a fork of ARC and CTR. So that's, again, you guys can check out phantom.org. I think their site is actually launching tomorrow. So check it out when you guys get a chance. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight those points about what really was going on. I felt that way from the beginning when I saw the DOJ SEC report come out, or case come out against them. I'm like, man, this doesn't make too much sense. So it looks like, they're gonna fight it, Sentra that is. And these government agencies can make mistakes. Sometimes the moves they make are truly mistakes, sometimes they're not. No one will ever probably know. But the SEC wants to prove a point and jump out there and be the first to make and prove a point as well. So we'll see what happens. I personally think Sentra's going to be vindicated, and I don't know how that's all going to play out, man. This is looking more and more like Uncle Cliff's mystery coin, but we shall see in a few years, I guess, right? This stuff probably takes a long time. I'm no legal expert or anything like that. So let me know your thoughts about all of this. As you guys can see, you should read it just for an understanding of what's going on. About an 8-minute read, but it's deep, man. It's definitely deep. You guys let me know what your thoughts are. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and holla at your boy in the webbot room, or just directly hit me up on the website, cryptoblood.io. It's your boy Crypto Blood, and I'm out. We got the formula.